What is up, everybody? Welcome to Perspective Gaming. I'm your host, Flame078, logging in from the real world to give you perspective, or more specifically, getting perspective. This video series tackles something that's been on my mind, then I spell out my takes, then afterwards we have discussion in hopes to better understand ourselves. Today's topic, mouse and keyboard on console. Is this bad? What is this? What's going on? Let's get to it. So for the longest time, I was aware that with adapters, you could plug in your mouse and keyboard into your console. For the longest, I didn't think much of it because it seemed like a lot of work to do. And I feel like the average person that plays on console probably wouldn't do this, simply because console is just easier to play. I think that's one of the reasons people buy consoles. It's accessible, it's affordable. So I was never worried about having people set up their consoles that way, because most likely than not, if they're going to that much trouble, then they are the type of people to just buy PC or play on PC. And I honestly still firmly believe this. But there is some news coming out that are changing things up. Microsoft is planning to support mouse and keyboard natively with their Xboxes, meaning that you don't have to go out of your way and buy some adapter to plug in and then play. Now this is an actual problem to a degree, and it's not new. This is actually the kind of same problem that cross-platform play has, and I talked about this in my crossplay video way back when. And that is essentially the technical difficulties of balancing these two types of inputs. It is not a mystery that mouse and keyboard have a huge advantage over a console controller. Take a look at this. I'm logged in on Fortnite on my PC. As you can see, I go into my settings. I don't really mess with anything. I just want to show you my layout. And now watch me go into the game lobby and look at this specifically. Look how fast I can turn and do a 180. Essentially mimicking if I had to turn around because someone's shooting me in the back, how fast I can do that. One swipe on my mouse and boom, I can literally do that. A longer swipe and I'll do like a 360 so fast. Now let's go on my PS4, let's go to my settings. Here I will adjust my sensitivity to the highest I can, simply because to prove a point. As an average player, my settings are usually between 7 or 8, but I want to point out that I want to put the settings as max because I assume a really good console player would have these max settings. Now let's go into the game and let's do the same thing. Notice a difference? Let's play these side by side. This one simple scenario, right? As you can see, there's a difference. The potential best console player against an average PC player. This type of speed makes a huge difference in games. In Fortnite, for example, holy crap, just how fast you can turn around and build yourself into buildings is so much better, and you can outperform people who really can't build that fast or can't keep up in shooting things down. The same logic applies into other first-person shooters. The reaction time and the ability that you have to counter is just massive. And I am still all for crossplay. I didn't bring that up because I was like, oh my god, this is bad. But there are downsides to this, but this is one of the things that does need to be solved. But I also imagine in a crossplay world, this is a non-issue. The idea of crossplay, or the best scenario for crossplay, is that you're allowed to opt into crossplay. Meaning, hey, I'm on Xbox, I want to play with my PS4 friend. I choose to invite him so that way we play together. And then because I chose to invite him, then now we're playing against all console players. Or if I'm playing with a PC player, same thing. Now PC players are in my lobby. I'm choosing to play like that. That is fine. There is an issue, and I'm not comfortable with allowing crossplay to be just the only way because of this very thing. So in general, crossplay, the mouse and keyboard debate has a solution. And that is just, the toggle of crossplay. You really can't do much in terms of balancing. But how do you stop someone that's using mouse and keyboard when they're on the same console as you? You really can't filter them out. You can't go into your game and be like, choose people who are using mouse and keyboard controller. That's not a thing you can do, and this is where unfair play comes into action. The results of the first summer skirmish that was won by a console player raised a bunch of flags, And I'm not going to talk about the fact that people thought he was cheating. Epic cleared his name and all of that is good and dandy. But Epic's response is kind of concerning in terms of what they said about one of the issues, which was, what if he was using mouse and keyboard on console? And they go, well, we do not want to limit how people play our game on their platform. A video that I watched from Gronky talked about this very thing in terms of how this affects competitive console play. And one of the things that he points out is that top PC players who don't qualify on PC could easily try their luck on a console and play with a mouse and keyboard, basically cutting out real top console players out of chances to compete. And I agree with this, but I also want to add that this is just bad on all levels. The only way this can work is trying to find some technical balance that provides a fair experience when you're using a controller and a mouse and keyboard, or provide some way of filtering between mouse and keyboard and console players. But even so, with what I mentioned about competitive play, this aspect is the only real thing I see that this is a problem. Mouse and keyboard affects competitive play just because of the unfairness, and it is a problem. But on a day-to-day, daily consumed game session in any game, I really do not see swarms of people just plugging in mouse and keyboards just because it's easier now because you don't have to use an adapter. Like I said, that seems more out of the way than what most average console players will do. Sure, there will be some, but again, those are people who are comfortable in the PC space, and they're definitely, I feel, a minority. They're not going to overwhelm you in your games. The real problem is on the competitive side, and I think this is where I have an issue. This is a problem, and I don't think it needs to be allowed for what I mentioned in this video. It is just unfair, and it kind of ruins the balance between consoles. And that is the end of this video. Thank you for tuning in on this installment of Getting Perspective. What are your thoughts on the mouse and keyboard on console? Is this something that you, of a console player, worries you? What about PC players? Is this something that you do want to do on your consoles? Leave all this and more in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed this video, please support this channel by giving me a thumbs up. I would greatly appreciate that, as it will let me know to give you more of this type of content. To stay updated on the latest and greatest over here, please hit the subscribe button and make sure you hit the notification bell. That way you know when my next video drops. I release weekly videos such as gaming discussion videos, gameplays, and other gaming variety content. This is Perspective Gaming. I'm your host Flame078, logging off for now, and until next time, adios.